Today we're working with Alstroemeria, also known as the Peruvian Lily. These are long-lasting flowers that will give you a vase life of up to 7 to 14 days, sometimes even longer. We have customers all the time tell us they kept them up to 3 weeks if they kept trimming the stems and changing out the water. Today we're going to learn how to do a hand-tied spiral bouquet that will then drop down in a vase. If you don't want to go this route and you want to arrange it like you always do, that's fine too. I just want to keep giving you guys tips and tricks on how to arrange flowers in different ways to polish up your skills. If you've gotten your bouquet and your blooms look a little bit like this, don't be fooled. We know they don't look cute now, but they are fresh from the farm and they're still in bud stage. Once they are in your warm house and they start to get a drink of water, they're going to start to slowly open and eventually they'll look big and full and beautiful just like these. And you can wait and you can arrange them after they fully opened, maybe put them in a warm glass of water, or go ahead and arrange them like this and watch the process from bloom to bud. So I'm starting with some stems that I have already cut down a little bit. They come with a lot of length. Often they say in the fields these can grow up to 3 feet tall. So this becomes a little bit difficult to work with. I'm going to go ahead and cut them down shorter to work with them. Also keep in mind, Alstroemeria, we're going to remove the foliage from the plant. This is a flower that sometimes can cause people with sensitive skin to have a little bit of like itchiness or redness in the palms of your hand. If you are someone who has sensitive skin, I'd recommend wearing gloves while working with them. In the years that I've worked with them, I've never had issues, but I've certainly had employees that just prefer to wear gloves. It's nothing that a little cream wouldn't help, but just a caution before you get started. We're going to remove any of the foliage. It's going to be below the water line. If you'd like to, you can also remove this foliage located closer to the flower. The foliage is going to start to look aged sooner than the blooms are. So if you want your vase to look as perfect for as long as possible, go ahead and remove that foliage now. Or you can, as they start to look sad, remove them and know that your blooms are going to last a lot longer than the foliage itself. We're also going to be working with tree fern today. This is a very feathery foliage. It's a lot of fun. Just add some fun texture to our bouquet. So we're going to do a hand-tied spiral bouquet. This is something that once it's made, you can cut your stems short and put sort of in a lower vase, or we're going to leave them a little bit taller and put them in a taller vase. Just depends on your preference. I'm going to start by setting out my flowers by color. As I put my spiral bouquet together, I want my colors to be throughout the bouquet kind of evenly dispersed. So when we're doing bridal bouquets or wedding work, we work this way as well. We've got a recipe, we lay the flowers out by color so that way we can evenly distribute them. This is going to be our first stem we start with. I'm holding it in my hand and I'm going to take a little bit of greenery and place it right on top of it, but I'm bringing the stem down to an angle. Everything that we place is going to be in that same position down to the angle to make that spiral. So I'm placing the greenery on top and giving it a little bit of like a 3/4 turn, and then a stem and a 3/4 turn. I'm just going to put my stems of tree fern in there just every now and then to help fill it out. Place my stem on top at that angle and a 3/4 turn. Stem on top and a 3/4 turn. Doing a spiral like this helps give a nice rounded shape to our bouquet. If you can know that you've kind of gone wrong if you're putting it the opposite direction. Everything wants to lay the same way. Now that we have it all together, you can sort of change heights, kind of pull things up, pull things down. Sometimes it might be spinning the stems just a little bit in place to get them exactly the way that you want it. I'm going to go ahead and bind mine off. This isn't necessary. I've got one more piece of greenery here. It's going to go right in there. I'm gonna bind mine so that it stays in place. I'm using a product called bind wire. So it's sort of like florist wire, but it's covered in a paper coating. Saves us from having to tape the wire as we go. I'm gonna remove any of the foliage that I just don't like the direction that it's going. And then give it a nice cut at the bottom to make all my stems even. And here's the true test. Let's see how we did on our spiral. If we did a good spiral, it should stand on its own. All right, so we need to put it in water though. So grab your vase of water with your flower food in, and you can drop it down. My bind is a little loose so that I can still kind of adjust a little bit. So you can make a bouquet like this. You could certainly get your stems a little shorter in a smaller vase and do something low and lush. I hope you guys enjoy your flowers this month. Enjoy arranging them and their beauty and their long-lasting blooms. Have a good one.